Alright, Shalom. Before I get started, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Allah Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachach Wadash. Double honor to the elders apostles of Great Millstone, who well and teach well, and who are the true leaders of Israel today. Starting with Elder Pastor Tahar on down. I also like to give double honor to the head and the elder of the Man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under down here in Greenville, South Carolina. And I also like to give a shout out to you sincere Akim, you brothers out there that's pushing this word and this truth, and all sincerity and righteousness in these last days. To y'all, I'd like to say Shalom. Alright, now coming back to the spirit and power of Yahweh Shia with Shah with another exhortation video. And Lord willing, this video will be found edifying. And also, by the way, Shabbat Shalom is currently the new moon Sabbath. Alright, so this would be the Sabbath would be from Monday sundown to Tuesday sundown. That'll be the current Sabbath for this new month. Alright, but anyway, pretty much I wanted to do a lesson on this Jake. You know, he pretty much said, as you can see, the Nolan Wells shit is not real. It said the mom interviews confirmed my belief. So he pretty much what he's saying is he believed that this whole situation with Nolan Wells, and I just did a video on it, last week. Well, not last week, yesterday. I mean, but pretty much, he, pretty much think that this whole situation with Nolan Wells is fake. Now, it could be real and it could not be real. We know Esau do things like this for a distraction, man. So I mean, I didn't see the interview yet, with the mom, so I can't say, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not real, And people be like, well, he's dead. He's nowhere to be found. Like, they can't just hide this man out, make him change his whole identity. That's possible, man. Esau do shit like this, man. And like I said, it's to stir up Jakes, right? Who, like the scripture says, who should rouse up Judah, man. This could be a situation to rouse up Judah, because Judah getting tired of their people dying, right? So it could be, or Esau doing this for, like I said, for a distraction, man. He's trying to cover up something he's trying to do, behind closed doors in the darkness, man. So I'm gonna play this clip so y'all can see what I'm talking about, because like I said, it's not far-fetched, from Esau doing something like this, or he could have paid the mama off, and that's why she not feeling emotional. Like example with that Kanika Jenkins case, the Zion that died, in the hotel, they paid the mama off, and now when the money, when her mama ran out of money or whatever, now the mom wanna get the case back running, so ain't no telling what's going on, that's between them. But like I said, Esau do things like this, make it mainstream media, for a distraction. So like I said, I wouldn't be surprised, if this whole situation is a whole big, mess. It just lies, I wouldn't put it past it. But I'm gonna play this clip.
I made a video talking about Nolan Wells' situation, and I think that shit fake. And don't judge me. Yeah, I am sitting in the handicap spot with no handicap sign. Oh well, right? But bro, I just watched the fucking interview with Nolan's parents, and I'm gonna be honest. The mom is not giving. She's not giving mother who just lost her son, who just died, mother whose son was murdered by white boys from Mississippi. She's just listen, bro. You can fake a lot of things in this world, but you cannot fake the pain that you feel when someone has passed away, especially a child, especially a father, a mom, a brother, or sister. You cannot fake that grief. There is a look that you have on your face when you lost somebody, and people can see it. I've been doing this for a while. I've been living life. That woman ain't lost no motherfucking child. This shit is fake. Y'all gotta understand that Nolan Wells shit is bullshit. They create situations to control the masses, to control the narrative, to control the energy. Yo, I seen a lot of people commenting, I'm from Mississippi. It's real. But not one of those people that were commenting under my shit could tell me they personally knew Nolan Wells. I'm not buying it, bro. And as a collective, we have become way too our discernment is at an all-time high. They want to drain our energy. We ain't going for it no more. That Nolan Wells shit is not real. Majority of the shit that shows up in the news is not real. Remember that. So yeah, I made it.
He's right about that, man. Everything on the news, you can't believe, man. You know, the news is one of the biggest lie tellers there is, man. You know, a lot of shit they talk about on the news, half of that shit don't even be real, man. You know, like you said, it's just for them to control the masses, man. To get people, you know, rowdy up. Like I said, man, this could be a little situation. This could be a fucking lie, and the whole time they just doing this, they just making up this big ass lie to rouse Judah up, man. You know, or it could be a distraction, you know, from what they trying to do. They trying to do something, so they just made this case, you know, this big ass case that's going on with Nolan Wells. Not only that, you got another little situation. Well, this situation, this was true, you know. But the little baby that died, man, you know, the little baby that, up here in South Carolina, you know, the little baby, you know, they got burnt. The mom and the parents killed the little girl. That little situation, that's true for the most that I know. That's pretty much true. I believe that's true. But this Nolan Wells situation, yeah, this could be a little cover up. Cause this shit national news, man. You know, this shit all over the world, all on the internet, all on TikTok. This shit, you know, this shit headline, you know. So like you said, man, they doing this shit to control the masses, you know, trying to get people energies to get rowdy up. You know, this the tactics that Esau like to do. And like you said, our people discernment is very low. So these are things you gotta discern, man. You gotta know when this man is lying and when this man is not lying. And see, he's a good deceiver, man. That's why we call him the devil, because the word devil means what? To deceive. So that's all this devil, you know, good at is deceiving. And he's good at deceiving you so-called Negroes, man. You know, he could easily deceive y'all, man. Y'all believe anything he tells y'all, especially these old heads when it come down to the news. He been lying to them for years, and they still, you know, buying this man lies, you know. So let's get these scriptures. I pretty much just got 2 scriptures. All right, we're gonna jump down to Satan devices. This is the book of 2 Corinthians, all right, chapter 2 and verse 11. It says, lest Satan, all right, and the physical counterpart of Satan is who? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, right? It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us. You see, because he's going to get an advantage over 2/3. He's not going to get the advantage over the elect. You see? So it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. You see? And his devices, all right, is, you know, not only is it talking about his chip, his C-hip, but, you know, his devices can go into his lies, man. You see? We're not stupid of it. We're not dumb, man. Esau, we know your playbook, bro. You use the same little playbook over and over. Only a dummy won't see that. You know, only a dummy would think you're gonna change the play up. This man don't never change the play up. He used the same play over and over and over. It's like a broken record to this man. You know, Esau used the same record, the same tactics. It's like, how the hell can you not see that this man doing the same shit? He just do certain situations to get y'all rowdy up, or to have y'all believing in something that ain't true, so he can cover up some shit that he's doing. That's why I say, like, Satan should get an advantage over us, but we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not stupid, Esau. You may be fooling 2/3 of our people. Like the scripture said, if it was possible, he would deceive the very elect. You can't deceive the elect, man, because the elect, we already know what's going on. Lord willing, how about the job, we a part of that number, you know. But the hopeful elect, we know what the fuck going on, man. We know that, you know, this devil do certain things, you know, to fulfill its agenda, man. You know. But you gotta have the spiritual discernment to read between the lines. You see? And that's something that our people don't have, is discernment. Their discernment is very low. You see? Their discernment is very low. Their discernment is very low on this side because they had a low vibration. You know, they over here eating all fast food, eating Popeyes, you know, eating fucking McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King. You know, they ain't doing no type of fasting, no type of praying. You know, they just straight full of, they full of fast food and alcohol, you know, and weed, you know. Body all fucked up. All, you know, they defiling the temple, man. You know, that's why the Lord ain't got their spiritual discernment up. Because they defiling the fuck out of they temple, which is their body. You know? So let's go over here now to the book of bear with me. Do this in John. So like, let me think of the scripture. I just had it in my head. Yep, 2 Corinthians, all right, chapter 4 and verse 4. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 3. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 3. And it says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that is lost. And that's you 2/3. You niggas are lost. Y'all don't know what's going on really, man. Y'all niggas are lost. Y'all can't get the doctrine. Y'all damn sure ain't gonna be able to get shit that Esau pushing out. Y'all niggas just out of darkness, man. You know, y'all niggas are lost in the sauce. You know? But anyway, verse 4. It says, in whom the God of this world, talking about Esau Edom, right? He's the God of this world, right? It says, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of Yahweh, should shine into them. So you niggas, you know, are lost. It said, in whom the God of this world has blinded the minds of them. Esau has blinded y'all from this truth. He's blinding y'all through the media. He's blinding y'all, man, from what's really going, from what he's really doing, the agendas he's trying to do, fulfill. He's blinding y'all, man, and y'all too stubborn or too damn retarded to see what's really going on, man. Y'all just like, oh man, another black boy went missing in the lake. Although, don't get me wrong, I ain't saying that it's true. I ain't saying that it's not true. But certain situations, you know, they be lies, man. You do have certain situations like this that does happen, but you gotta know when it's true and when it's not true. You know. Now, like I said, I still haven't watched, you know, the interview with his mother or whatever. Matter of fact, there you go. I'm gonna watch it.
Why did Nolan Wells' mother show a strange smile during the program when she spoke about her son's mysterious drowning? Has no one realized that behind this lies three?
This is not how I wanted the world to meet my son, but here we are. So, as you know, I'm Christine Wells Wansley. I am Nolan Wells' mom. And Nolan was...
Yeah, it do. I ain't gonna lie. She do look like, you know, like she's like, I'm gonna wind it back a little bit, but she do look like she's smiling a little bit. And 9 times out of 10, I noticed something too about Zion. You know, when they lose a loved one, especially a child, 9 times out of 10, Zion gonna have a piece of tissue in that hand, wiping their face. She ain't did none of that, man. You know, like Jake said in the video, you know, when you lose somebody, you gonna see it in their face. And her face, she didn't she didn't look like she cared. You know, which is kind of off. You know, some people just show weird emotions. Now, don't get me wrong, you do have people out here that just show weird emotions, and she's one of them. If she is, you know, like I said, 9 times out of 10, Zions, you know, they lose a damn child, whatever. They gonna have a piece of tissue in their hand, wiping their face, crying, having their face bowl up, you know, head down. Her, just look at it. Hold on.
And
You see, it look like she's smiling, man. Like she like, we fooled these niggas, and she got a bag from it. You know, she like, they really fooled these niggas. They really got y'all fooled. You know, it's like she laughing, you know, at the situation. But we're gonna keep playing a little bit of it, and then we're gonna close it out.
Nolan is the kindest soul. He never met a stranger. He loved everybody. He didn't care if you were black, white, purple, green, looked like a marshmallow. Like, he just wanted everyone to be in peace with one another. He loved life, and God gave him this big heart.
And then another thing, not a teardrop in sight. You know, which is weird, man. I want to see what the comments say. Yeah, even the first comment, it says she seems very calm for a mother who lost her son a few days ago. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, only that one comment really said it, you know. Everybody else saying sorry, whatever. But that first comment was on point. I ain't gonna lie. You know. But yeah, man. You know, you just gotta watch out for Esau. You know, lies and deception, man. You know, because he's very good at doing that, especially in these times that we living in, man. So Lord, when this video was edifying, I'm gonna close it with giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rechakudash. Double honor to the elders apostles, great millstone, rule well and teach well. Stop with elder apostles on down. Double honor to the head and the elder of the man of Israel camp, the Chazak, whom I teach under down here in Greenville, South Carolina. Shalom to you, sincere Akim. Shalom and Shabbat Shalom.